guys, so it's race day and we're getting ready to race both motocross and enduro in the regionals here in South Thailand. So let's have some fun and go out and try the track. The weather looks absolutely perfect today. The track is moist, good traction, sunshine, blue sky, and it looks like it's going to be a really good day. Alright, so we're out for track walk now, and holy cow, the track looks good. We are so lucky with the weather. It's blue sky, as you can see here. And then look at the soil. It's just perfect. Like, look how moist it is. Like right now it's literally mint conditions. And here we're just looking at the enduro sections. So it's so good that it hasn't rained, because that means there's not gonna be any mud holes here on the enduro sections. If there was gonna be a mud hole here, this would be a difficult section here if it was full of water and mud. But this is gonna be easy peasy if it's just gonna be like this and no rain. So happy days. One of my goals for today is to see if I can ride as relaxed and as comfortable as I do during practice, because usually I ride a bit more tense and a little bit more stiff in the body when I race, and a little bit less efficient. So that's actually one thing I will try to see if I can do today. Just have fun, just ride as I normally do, because I usually actually don't ride as fast in races as I can do in practice, because I'm primarily a professional coach, you know, and I only race occasionally. And one thing you can notice about how I gear up is that I'm wearing elbow protectors underneath my jersey, and it's a really nice little safety tip that I don't see many people use, because it doesn't bother me. It doesn't add any restriction to my movements or anything. To try it, I see most people, they don't use it. So this is not gonna bother you when you ride it, but you know what's gonna bother you? If you hit your elbow on a rock or something, that's gonna bother you. So try this. And we are racing to raise awareness of human rights as well. Human rights such as freedom of choice. If you like to decide what to do with your own life, where to go, what to do, and what to do with your own body, then you like something called freedom. And that's something we like here at Team Motocross Phuket. So let's support those values. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna practice the enduro track, because there's a new line and a new route that I want to get familiar with. Let's do that, and then we'll practice motocross afterwards. Alright, welcome on board on my enduro bike, which is actually a modified Honda CRF 300L, which means it's a dual sport bike, which means it's not an actual enduro race bike, but it can be made quite decent actually if you do a couple of upgrades on it, which I did. And then here we got a steep downhill again. Before we went up and uphill, it's hard to see on the camera footage if we go uphill or downhill. But anyways, now we'll fast forward to another section. So here we go through the obstacle sections with some tires and a concrete tree trunk, so to speak, and then these almost vertical walls. And then after practice I went to walk around in the pits a bit and just saying hello to everybody. And then it was time for a motocross practice, and then after my motocross practice I did another enduro practice session, and then after that I did another enduro practice session, which I'm not going to show you just to keep the video a bit short. Yeah, so if you're ready to watch the race soon, get your popcorn out and get a drink ready, because soon we'll be watching race 1, which is my main race of the day. And then right after that we will watch the enduro race, and then at the end of the video we will watch the open class race, which is all the fastest riders, where they mix both 450cc, 250s and even 125cc's. And you won't guess who is gonna win the open class and you won't guess what bike they're on probably, because that's going to be a bit of a surprise. But if you stick around till the end, you will see that and maybe learn something interesting. Okay, so now there's rider briefing over here. We got all the riders standing here and getting some tips and rules for the event. Okay. Yeah, thanks. Okay,สู้ๆครับ
ครับผม
Safety first
ครับผม
ครับ So here let's re-watch the race start scene from the outside in slow motion. And I think nobody was prepared for the gate to drop that quick. And if you listen to my RPMs or my throttle amount at the starting gate, I didn't even increase my RPMs up to the prepared RPM range. So I had low RPMs, so I don't know how I managed to get in front actually, but I did. So I came out with a pretty good lead already from turn 1. And I maintained that lead for quite some time, as you will see, until I made a tiny mistake. So let's watch that and watch how that goes. Here you can see I actually got a pretty good gap, I think around 20 meters when we're going down the straights here. I'm basically like one tabletop length ahead of the second place guy, and I maintained that gap for I think the first 5 laps or so until, yeah, as you will see, I make a small mistake later. And as you will notice, I look behind me when I'm jumping over some of the jumps, and I check that the gap is about those 20 meters. But then after I made the mistake, I forgot to double check if the gap had decreased, as you will see soon. And that resulted in me basically getting caught and passed, as you will see. So in about 10 seconds, you will see the mistake that I made, and you will see how important it is not to overjump sometimes. I actually overjumped maybe 1 or 2 meters, and I had a hard landing, and then I lost time, and you will see the rider behind me, he will catch up pretty quick now, because I didn't get on the gas as usual and lost a bit of speed. So here I was already getting caught, and then you will see what happens now. Also you will see it on the GoPro that I get past here with a very nice made block pass by this rider in front of me, by the way. Alright, so let's watch it again from my GoPro helmet cam. Here's a couple of jumps before that happened. So here's lap 5, I'm still in first place, and there's 8 laps total in the race. And here you can see the rider behind me is still around 20 meters behind, so everything good at this point. I'm basically managing the lead, and at this point I think, oh, I'll just ride it home safe and no problems at all. And then here I maybe give it a little bit too much gas because I'm maybe a bit unfocused, and then I land hard, and then I forgot to check behind me here over the jump, because right now actually the rider is right next to me, basically on the inside here. So here the rider, he just got across and blocked past me, which is like really good block pass. It wasn't too risky, I think. Just real professional level block pass, I would say. And then I got busy because now there was only 3 laps left and I had to catch up again. Alright, so here you can see I did have the speed to catch up to the leader again, and then I tried to take a way around him. That was the only way I could try to get around him, but then that resulted in me getting passed from the outside. So yeah, that wasn't a good decision, but I did what I could to try to get around him after I caught up to him, and then as you see I ended up in 3rd place, which was okay, you know. I'm really happy to be able to battle with these 2 riders because they're both multi-time champions, and just a few years ago I never thought I would be able to have the same level as these 2 riders, so I'm really happy with my current skill level. And congratulations to the winner Chang Chet, and congratulations to Pete Chet with 2nd place as well. And after the motocross race there was a break before the enduro race, which we'll watch in just a minute. A quick garage pit stop before we continue the video. So one of the new ways you can train with me, actually starting from today, is by joining Fast Club, where you basically just click the join button on the channel and join the channel as a channel member on the Fast Club level. And then that will include free coaching, where I review one of your riding videos every month, just a short riding video. That way you can get a personally tailored program to match exactly where you are at your current level. And then I'll give you a plan for how to get to the next level. Pretty simple. Another way you can train with me is in person, physically, training here in Phuket, Thailand. I definitely think you should check out Fit Camp 5. There's also a link in the description. That is a training camp concept. Because remember, you as a rider have a physical body. You could say that step 1 is to build the rider first. Build your physical body, build your mobility, build your strength, build your cardio. And then of course we also go and work at the track on riding technique, which is just as important. But you have to have all the pieces of the puzzle together to build the full package of becoming your best version of yourself, both as a rider but also basically as a healthy human being. So if that sounds interesting, consider clicking that join button or send me an email on fastclubriders@gmail.com and then we'll get in touch. I apologize for the interruption. I actually don't like to do these kind of self-promotional videos, but I consider it an infomercial because think about it like this. The reason you're watching these videos is that you are getting some sort of value from these videos. But of course I don't do this for free. You know, I do provide most of my content for free, but of course my best content is my online courses on UDEMY, links in the description, and also of course my personalized videos that I make for people that I coach. Sorry for the interruption. Now let's get back to the video. And for the enduro race there was so many riders lined up that we had to start in front of the starting gate with a flag start, which was okay. As you will see, I got a pretty good start anyway. Yeah, so I got around 2nd place into turn 2, which I was really happily surprised to do when I was racing against those 2 KTM 300 2-stroke bikes that are much better than my dual sport bike. Now let's watch the highlights from my GoPro camera. here get passed by one of the fastest riders in South Thailand. He's a motocross rider on a tuned up KLX 150cc dual sport bike. And this is so cool because this just shows that it's more about the rider than the bike. And he is a better rider than me. And he's actually gonna win the race against KTM 300 two-stroke bikes that are much, much better, basically. So this is really, really cool and really interesting to learn from regarding bike technology and riding skills. So here we're getting through the obstacle sections. There are basically around 7 obstacles around this enduro circuit, where you'll see here there's some steep uphills, almost like logs, built into the track with an excavator. And then here there's a little jump, and then some bumps and holes here, and then we're almost done with the lap now. So let's just fast forward to the last lap here, where I actually catch the KTM rider again on the last 50 meters of the race over these obstacles here. He said he was tired. I talked to him after the race. So here I've crossed the finish line in 3rd place, which I was really happily surprised to be able to do. Again, against these really good bikes with skilled riders on them.
No energy.
Yeah, I could see, man. You were riding fast in the beginning, and then I slowly get closer. That was fun, man. 3rd place. Pretty good. And now let's watch the winner crossing the finish line here from my cameraman. And he did a proper celebration with full throttle and RPM limiter. And there you see 2nd place coming over the finish line here. And then you can notice in the background, I'm passing the guy for 3rd place far away here. You can see my headlights. I pass right there over the obstacles. They're basically like steep dirt walls. And then I come over here in the 3rd place. Pretty cool. Alright, and let's end the video with watching the open class race, which was all the fastest riders. You will see in 1st place there's a 125cc rider that is actually a fast club rider that I support and work with. He is leading the race against a 450 and a 250 in 3rd place. And here's another 125 in 4th place. And my training buddy here in 5th place. And as you will see, the 125cc rider, he will win the race against the 450s and 250s. And that just shows you a couple of things. First of all, suspension technology and suspension setup is what enables high-speed riding and riding skill, of course. So suspension and riding skill beats engine power in many cases. Okay, that's takeaway number 1. And in case you wonder why I'm not racing the race, that's because I simply feel like I'm too old riding on the edge and pushing myself to the absolute limit like this. If you know anything about motocross racing, it's a young man's sport. So when I race, I just enjoy racing within my comfort zone, having fun and focusing on just improving my riding skill in a very safe comfort zone, so to speak, and then focus my real energy on studying the sport and teaching other people about the sport and how to get better. I can teach people how to get better than I am because I know enough about riding technique to teach people to become better riders than I am. And some of my best experiences is when I have people that come back after a few years and just say, hey, thank you for everything you taught me, and it really works. I'm a much better rider now than I used to be. So that's the big wins for me, is to pass on the knowledge and help improve other people and then just enjoy the riding at the level that I'm comfortable at. So here we see he's still in front. He almost got passed at one point, but then towards the end he pulled a gap and he won by a large margin. So again, congratulations to Fast Club supported rider number 163 with the victory, and thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like the video if you liked it. See you on the next one. I want to say thank you to Rev 100 Decals. You can follow them on Instagram or get a discount by using the link and the discount code in the description. And if you want to get better at riding, check out Fast Club by joining the YouTube channel. If you want to get fits while being on a holiday, check out fitcamp5.com. And if you like to train motocross in Thailand, check out motocrossphuket.com with the slogan, dreams are meant to come true. So if you dream about becoming a better motocross rider, check those things out.